Three really popular words. They were you, Rory, comments about his family, comments about Shane Lowry's weight. Hey, Tuggle, you ain't moving! Comments about rumors that you hear about Rory McIlroy, Pinehurst, Bryson. A lot of it is stuff that I can't say on camera, but just know that they took it over the line today.
By Saturday,
bad news just hit the LIV Tour, and players are furious. This drama's about to blow up, so let's break down exactly what's going on in the golf world, and why it's spelling big trouble for LIV and its stars. The tension between LIV Golf and the PGA Tour has officially gone from heated to chaotic, and it's getting ugly fast. The golfers caught in the middle are straight up exhausted from the non-stop conflict. But don't think that means they've stopped caring. Far from it. Keith Mitchell, the world's number 54, admitted, "I wake up thinking about it. I go to bed thinking about it. Honestly, that's all I think about." That says it all. This feud isn't just about money anymore, it's eating away at the game itself.
It's funny, when you get married, a lot of people tend to make jokes about like, oh, your life's over, yada, yada, yada. My friends were always very excited for me to get married, but you get some people offhand just making jokes. And
Mitchell, 30, stands firm with the PGA Tour loyalists as he gears up for the Open Championship at St. Andrews. Right now, he's in Scotland for the Genesis Scottish Open. While across the pond, the tension couldn't be hotter. Just last week, Portland, Oregon hosted the second LIV Golf event of its debut season, where Brandon Grace walked away with a jaw-dropping $4 million prize. Grace didn't stop there. He even snagged a court victory in Britain on Monday, letting him tee off this week at the Scottish Open despite being banned by the PGA and DP World Tour. That move sparked chaos. Billy Horschel came out swinging, blasting the LIV players who left to spend more time with their families, only to turn around and sue for the right to play anywhere they want. The hypocrisy's got the locker rooms buzzing. They made their bed, now they gotta lie in it. Billy Horschel fired off. He didn't hold back, saying those players chose the LIV Tour, so they should stick with it. According to him, it's ridiculous for them to chase LIV money and then come crawling back to play on the PGA or DP World Tour. That's just absurd, he snapped. And the message was loud and clear. Horschel added, "We're over here working, grinding, building this tour, and if you left, then go do your thing. Just stop trying to have it both ways." His frustration was real. "When you criticize the PGA Tour, you're criticizing us," he warned. Keith Mitchell echoed the same energy. He admitted that while players once stayed open-minded about how LIV might evolve, that unity's now broken. The divide is sharper than ever, and both sides are done pretending it's just business. This has turned personal. The threat of lawsuits is one thing, but the money war might be even uglier. Mitchell warned that LIV's 14-event calendar for 2023 and beyond could wreck the PGA Tour's prize money system. "These guys leaving are draining the sport's finances," he said, and it's hard to argue with that. If LIV keeps hosting 14 events, they'll clash directly with the PGA Tour's weaker tournaments, and that's a problem. If the PGA ends up with weak fields, why would sponsors keep pouring in millions? Mitchell questioned. He fears that this split could crush sponsor trust and cut the game's total revenue. Too much cash chasing too few players, and fans are picking sides faster than ever. What started as talk has turned into a full-blown standoff, and everyone's waiting for the next move. What format even is it? Who's really traveling? Mitchell said, pointing out how the whole thing started as just a rumor that spiraled out of control. Curiosity turned into chaos, and now every week more players are picking sides. But the wildest part? Mitchell revealed that one of his biggest sponsors called him after hearing he supposedly won $61 million. When he asked where that came from, the answer blew his mind. "A reliable source," they said. Mitchell fired back that it was total nonsense. "I haven't even talked to those guys in years," he snapped. He and Billy Horschel share the same frustration toward ex-PGA players, now taking shots from the sidelines. At LIV's Portland event, Pat Perez and Patrick Reed slammed Commissioner Jay Monahan, claiming he never listened to them. But to PGA loyalists, it sounded less like truth, and more like betrayal. Pat Perez went off in Portland, saying he's done listening to the PGA Tour's claims. "They keep saying we work for you, the players, but it feels like the opposite," he ranted. "It's like we work for them. We've got no control over anything." His words hit hard, echoing through locker rooms already split in two. Meanwhile, at the Canadian Open, running at the same time as LIV's first US event after London, even top players couldn't hide their disappointment. World number one Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy both admitted it's heartbreaking to see the sport tearing itself apart. Rory said, "It's sad, man. The game's getting too complicated. If fans can't even tell who's playing where anymore, it just feels wrong. The confusion is real, tournaments overlapping, players jumping ship, and fans don't know who's loyal, who's banned, or who's cashing in next. Golf needs unity. Everything's gotten way too divided," the statement read, capturing what so many pros are feeling right now. The sport was moving in a positive direction, until this war exploded. LIV Golf's flashy launch, stacked with $255 million in total prize money across just 8 events, turned heads fast. Big names like Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, and Sergio Garcia jumped on board, and reports say Patrick Reed and Bryson DeChambeau, both US major winners, are next in line. The hype's unreal, but so is the backlash. When LIV announced its first US tournament next month, chaos followed. The PGA denied release requests from players wanting to compete in the England event opposite Toronto's RBC Canadian Open at St. George's Golf and Country Club. And the warning was clear: anyone who plays in LIV events could face serious consequences. The PGA made it clear there will be penalties. Justin Thomas, fresh off his second PGA Championship win, admitted, "It's a bummer. The choice is theirs, but it's sad that all this drama is stealing the spotlight from what should be an incredible season." He praised the tour's long history and said it's disappointing that so many familiar faces won't be part of it anymore. Meanwhile, the Canadian Open is finally back after 2 long years of COVID delays, and it's stacked. 5 of the world's top 10 golfers are teeing off at one of the best venues the event has ever seen. Scottie Scheffler couldn't hide his excitement either. "It feels fresh again," he said. "The best players in the world are here, and I'm ready to compete." Still, even he admitted with a shrug, "I'm not entirely sure what's going on over there. The confusion's real, but the competition's heating up fast." But beneath the excitement, tension's boiling hotter than ever. The Canadian Open may look picture-perfect on the surface, but behind the scenes, whispers of lawsuits, suspensions, and secret deals are flying around like wild golf balls. Players are torn. Loyalty or legacy? Money or morals? Everyone's trying to act calm, but the pressure's unreal. And the PGA's not backing down. Commissioner Jay Monahan has drawn the line in the sand, saying players can't have it both ways. "If you're with us, stay with us. If not, don't expect to come back," he warned. The message was crystal clear, and it hit hard across locker rooms worldwide. But behind closed doors, even PGA loyalists are nervous. Rumors suggest sponsors are watching closely, worried about where the money and the fans will go next. Some analysts claim this is golf's biggest identity crisis since Tiger's early days. The traditions that once defined the sport are being challenged by flashy new formats and massive paychecks. Everyone's asking the same thing: will golf's honor survive this storm, or has the game sold its piece for a paycheck? LIV, on the other hand, keeps pushing forward, fast and fearless. Their events look like rock concerts with golf clubs, blasting music and flashing lights, while pros chase multi-million-dollar purses. It's bold, it's modern, and it's shaking golf's old foundation to the core. But for every fan who loves the energy, another says it's killing tradition. Even veteran players admit the audience has changed. "People don't just want golf, they want a show," one pro said. And that's exactly what LIV's giving them. But will the hype last? Critics say the format is fun but forgettable. Short, loud, and lacking the grit that makes golf great. Still, with stars like Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson smiling for the cameras, it's hard to deny that LIV's chaos is captivating the world. One swing at a time. Now the stage is set for a showdown like golf's never seen. 2 tours, 2 visions, one sport tearing itself apart. The PGA stands for heritage, loyalty, and legacy. LIV screams freedom, money, and disruption. And every week, more players are forced to choose which flag they'll fly. The drama's far from over. Lawsuits are still in motion, tensions are rising, and the fans are split right down the middle. Some say LIV is the future. Others call it the fall of the game. But one thing's for sure, this battle has changed golf forever. The question now isn't who wins the next major. It's who owns the soul of the sport. "I don't hate DJ anymore," one player admitted. "He's not a bad guy. I won't treat him any differently. He made his choice, and that's his right." There was a note of regret in his voice. "I just wish he and the others hadn't gone that route. But what's done is done." After the US Golf Association confirmed that all LIV golfers who qualified for the Open could still compete, tensions started to cool, at least on the surface. Even Rory McIlroy showed no bitterness toward those jumping to LIV. Facing them in the US Open next week, he kept it classy. "I understand their goals," Rory said. "They made their decisions, and I'm not here to judge them. They can live their careers however they choose." It was a rare moment of calm in a stormy season. Respect, even between rivals. But beneath that calm tone, you could still feel the weight, the sense that golf will never be the same again. "The PGA Tour is where I belong. That's where I want to compete against the best golfers in the world," said Canadian Mackenzie Hughes before teeing off in Toronto. But even he couldn't hide his frustration with LIV Golf's timing. "It stinks," Hughes muttered, clearly disappointed that his home event had to share the spotlight with all the chaos. Still, he stayed optimistic. "This field's incredible, the best part of the sport's still right here," he added with pride. But not everyone shared that calm. Less than a year after leading Team USA to a dominant 5-0 win at Whistling Straits, Dustin Johnson dropped a bombshell, announcing he was resigning from the PGA Tour. That single decision made him ineligible for both the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup. The man who once waved the American flag on the greens had just walked away from its biggest stage, and the shock hit the golf world like thunder. Dustin Johnson's exit shook golf to its core. This wasn't just a player leaving, it was a statement. One of the PGA's most dominant stars walking away meant anyone could. Fans were stunned, teammates felt betrayed, and rivals quietly wondered who'd be next. Johnson, calm as ever, simply said, "I made the best decision for my family." But everyone knew it ran deeper than that. Behind the scenes, whispers spread that LIV had offered him a life-changing deal, figures rumored to be north of $100 million. Whether true or not, it sent shockwaves through the locker rooms. The man who crushed Europe at Whistling Straits was now leading a different kind of charge, not for his country, but for change. And once DJ made the jump, others followed fast. The dominoes were falling, and the PGA's grip on power was starting to slip. With every defection, the tension rose higher. The PGA's once solid brotherhood was cracking, and the media fed on every rumor. Suddenly, friendships turned frosty. Group chats went silent, and locker rooms split right down the middle. Some golfers saw LIV as betrayal, others called it evolution. Justin Thomas said it best: "Money changes everything." And he wasn't lying. Multi-million-dollar contracts, private jets, and shorter schedules sounded tempting to almost anyone. But not everyone could stomach the backlash that came with it. The old guard preached loyalty, while the new wave bragged about freedom. Even the fans were torn, some chanting Team PGA, while others wore LIV caps proudly at tournaments. The game that once united generations had turned into a turf war, and no one was safe from the fallout. The era of quiet respect was over. Golf had officially entered its rebel phase. As the battle intensified, sponsors started to panic. Big names like Rolex, FedEx, and MasterCard watched closely, unsure which side to back. The sport that once stood for class and composure was now dripping in controversy. Every player who switched sides risked losing endorsements overnight. Reporters hounded players at every turn. "Are you next?" became the most feared question on the tour. For the first time in decades, golf headlines looked more like Hollywood scandals than sports coverage, and fans couldn't get enough of it. Meanwhile, Jay Monahan doubled down, banning LIV players from PGA events and tightening the rules even further. His message was simple but ruthless: you can't serve two masters. But as the lawsuits piled up and more stars crossed over, the question grew louder. Was the PGA fighting for its integrity, or just fighting to stay in control? By now, it wasn't just a feud, it was a full-on civil war. Two tours, two philosophies, and one fractured sport. The PGA Tour stood tall, clinging to its tradition, while LIV Golf strutted in with swagger and money to burn. Both sides claimed they were saving the game, but the truth? They were tearing it apart. Veterans called it heartbreaking. Legends like Tiger and Rory warned that greed was staining the game's soul. But the new generation? They saw opportunity. A chance to rewrite golf's future on their own terms. And while fans debated ethics and legacy online, one thing was clear: golf had changed forever. This isn't just about who wins the next tournament. It's about what kind of sport golf wants to be. Classic or chaotic, loyal or liberated. The choice is splitting the greens in half, and the battle for golf's future is only heating up. DJ doubled down on his decision, saying once again that he did what was best for his family. Critics couldn't help but roll their eyes. After all, the man has already earned around $74 million just from PGA Tour winnings alone. Add in his sponsorships with major banks and his private jet partnership, and it's safe to say the Johnson household isn't struggling to pay the bills. But money wasn't the only controversy swirling around him. Many fans and journalists pointed out the uncomfortable truth. The Saudi regime funding LIV Golf has a dark history of human rights abuses. Yet when players were asked about it, they brushed it off with vague answers and forced smiles. On Tuesday, the press conference made it crystal clear. No one on LIV's roster seemed ready to face the ethical questions. It wasn't just silence, it was deflection. And the world noticed. With LIV Golf bringing in team formats, fans now have to learn a whole new lineup of squads. Sergio Garcia is captaining Team Fireballs, a fitting name for the man leading one of the most talked about and controversial crews in the game. A former Masters champ now fronting a team funded by questionable money? That's got the golf world buzzing. Love it or hate it, LIV's team setup is changing how golf looks, and maybe how it's remembered. So what do you think? Is this the bold future of golf, or just another flashy distraction? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Golf Swing for more wild golf stories. Share this video with your golf buddies, and I'll catch you in the next one.